Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, the wonders to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us his truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work, and peace and salutations to the hopefully elect that are scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth, to USA, Shalom. So yeah, this lesson right here is of course inspired by this article that you see on the screen from the People's Voice, which came out October 19th, 2023, the current date, and the title reads, Former WEF member turned whistleblower warns about globalist plan to see-hip the people. And of course we know, the agenda with these devils, these top banking elites, which is to cement the NWO by the way of having a chip implanted under their skin. But this article pretty much goes into how they're going to do it, how they're going to snare the people into taking it, saying that the masses are not going to be willing to just put their hand out and take it, but there's going to be certain circumstances within the earth as far as the economic collapse, that's going to lead to the lack of resources, okay? There's going to be a lack of jobs also, in which all these things combined is going to have people looking for a solution to all their problems. And, this UBI system that they have set up or are going to set up is going to be like bait up on a hook, man. All right? Like bait up on a hook. A fish is not going to bite a hook by itself. It has to be some bait on it. So that's going to be the bait to lure in, a lot of you people out there into being snatched up by this devil. To being snagged by this devil, man, okay? So let's read this real quick, and we're gonna play this video down here too, about 3 minutes long, let you hear, how they're going about doing this, okay? So it says, the global elite plan to coerce populations into having C-hips implanted under their skin to be able to access digital currencies, universal basic income, and other services, according to German economist Richard Werner, okay? And this UBI, what is UBI? Let's go ahead and click on that real quick. All right, UBI, which is short for Universal Basic Income. UBI can protect workers, it can protect workers against the shocks of a changing economy. And just like you read in Isaiah the 19th chapter, there should be no work for Egypt, meaning that there's going to be a mass layoff, all right? A mass layoff in which the jobs are going to perish, roughly paraphrasing, Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. They that look out the window shall be darkened, all right? So this UBI is going to act as a support system for these calamities that are going to take place. So what does UBI stand for? It says Universal Basic Income, or UBI, is a model for providing all citizens of a country or other geographic area with a given sum of money, regardless of their income, resources, or employment status, you see? So if you lose your job, then in that town you would be offered this UBI system. But guess what? This UBI system is going to be attached to this chip, right? So yeah, this is how this man's going to cause small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive this mark in their right hand or in their forehead, okay? Pursuant to Revelation 13 and 16. So again, UBI is a model for providing all citizens of a country or other geographic area with a given sum of money. And I think it's like $2,000 a month, okay? And it says regardless of their income. So no matter what you make, this is what's going to be given to you, okay, monthly. And you have to spend it up, and it's going to be tied to this chip, man, okay? And also, I think there was one that said something about welfare. Yeah, this one right here. So it says, in general, UBI refers to regular cash payments made to people, for example, adult U.S. citizens, in order to increase their income. There would be minimal or no requirements for receiving the money. See? In some places that have implemented the UBI, the cash payments replace existing social welfare programs. You see that? So you see how this is going to be used instead of, your EBT, your SNAP benefits, your governmental assistance is going to be translated to the UBI in a time of great chaos. All right. So that's how this man is going to get you to take this MOTB. Now I want to grab a scripture real quick. And we'll go ahead and get this. All right, going to that serpent. All right, Genesis 3:1. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua had made. And of course, this serpent was talking about an actual being in the garden during that time, a deceiver, all right, in which he, of course, seduced Eve with a philosophy, and she brought that same philosophy to the man, Adam. And that's going to be the same thing in these times, all right? As the economy collapses, the vintage fails, once welfare, is translated to this UBI system, you're going to see the women of households, go and take their children and take this mark, which is likened unto them, eating off this corrupt tree, taking in Esau's wicked philosophy. All right, and you're going to see a lot of men follow behind that. Okay? So again, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh Bashmashah had made. And the beast represents the other nations. All right? Man without order is considered a beast according to the scriptures. So this serpent right here, in which the same spirit resides in Esau, Edom today, the so-called white man, primarily the top elite bankers who control everything, is using subtlety to snare the people into taking this mark. All right, let's go to this word subtile real quick. All right, our rum. All right, subtile, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudent. All right, Strong's definition. Cunning, usually in a bad sense. All right, and this is definitely in a bad sense. All right, and that word serpent right there. In the Strong's H5175, it says the Strong's definition. Let's go into the root word. I'm not really giving nothing right there. Yep, it says to practice divination, divine, observe signs, learn by experience, diligently observe, okay? They accomplish a diligent search, as you read in Psalm 64, okay? Practice fortune telling, take as an omen, to practice divination, to observe the signs or omens. Strong's definition, it says, whisper a magic spell, see, generally to prognosticate, certainly, divine enchanter, enchantment, all right? So this is going to be as an enchantment. The same spirit that was in this serpent is the same spirit that's in Esau today, and he's using enchantment to snare the people to or in taking his mark. But as the scriptures say, there is no enchantment against Jacob going to the elect. Why? Because the elect won't be deceived into taking this man's mark. So let's go back and go to this article. Now we're gonna listen to 3 minutes of this article, of this video, and then we'll go back into the scriptures. So without further ado, let's listen.
The idea had been by central banks to introduce this, as we said, central bank digital currency. But have you ever seen an article or a video or, whatever description of what it actually looks like? I mean, with central bank paper money, we know what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Bank digital currency, we know, and, we've used it ourselves. We know what it looks like. But what does central bank digital currency look like? You see? So they never talk about that because people won't actually like the looks of it.
Yeah.
Because it apparently looks, and several central banks apparently, as I heard from my sources, have already fully developed the final stage of CBDC. I mean, it comes in stages, initially likely through your mobile phone, but that's only an intermediate step. And the final stage is, it's small, and it's the size of a grain of rice. Now, why is that?
And that grain of rice is your entire wallet, or?
Yes, it's your digital ID, your wallet, can be your passport, your key. Now, of course, what we found with our debit cards or credit cards is they've already now moved to the system, RFID chips, RFID technology, where you just wave the thing, contactless.
Yes.
That is sort of the conditioning us in this direction. That in the future you'll just wave your hand because you've got the microchip implant under your skin, and because and each step there's a rational reason. It's easier just to wave this, isn't it? It's much faster because we always have to wait in the queues as everyone types in their numbers and all that. So just wave it; it's quicker. But the next rationalization would be, but you can lose your card, somebody can steal your card, and then you're just waving. That's kind of risky. Wouldn't it be nice if you couldn't lose it and nobody could steal it? But it's clear that that's it is almost a step too far for a lot of people, because it is a violation of human dignity to actually inject something like that under the skin. So that's where you need some more persuasion. And it's interesting that this concept of universal basic income has been around for around a century, where everyone should get some kind of citizens, payment. But the billionaire elites have so far not liked that. But since 2015, they've all come out. I mean, all the big billionaires and World Economic Forum have come out. Oh, this is a good idea, universal basic income. Well, why suddenly now? Because now we have the technology for the microchip implant. And so in 2017, Bill came out and said that universal basic income is a good idea, but it's too early to introduce it. Now, what was still missing? So we had the technology for the microchip implant, but what was missing was the digital ID hadn't been introduced. Now, this is where this whole agenda had become very useful.
There you go. So, out of chaos comes order, and in the midst of an economic crisis, where there's a lack of food, a lack of water, and just, resources, period, a lack of jobs, and this device that's going to be attached to the UBI system is going to be used as a form of leverage, that the people are going to lean on. All right, so I'm not going to make this lesson too long, but you see where this thing is headed. So all we need is a right crisis that's going to allow this system to be set up in place. If we know that that this chip has to be implemented before World War III can kick off, as we're seeing things ramp up. Things are moving fast, man. So, one chaotic event could initiate or fast forward this whole, chip. So Isaiah 36:6 says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt." And this is modern day Egypt that we're in America. Whereon, if a man lean, you see, if you lean on this system, especially during a time of an economic collapse, in which, hope is pretty much lost, the people are going to be looking for an answer, and that's going to be the answer. So it says it will go into his hand and pierce it. See? So leaning on this system for help is going to lead to you being pierced in your hand to receive these benefits, which are going to be at no charge, but, your hand. So it says, "So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him." And that's what the majority of people trust in. They trust in Esau's system, right? Isaiah 30, and where to start at verse 12, it says, "Wherefore thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Shemashah, because you despise his word," right? "And trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon." Okay, because the majority of our people they don't hearken, or they won't hearken into what's being said by the prophets. Warn them of these dangers that are coming, that are going to be tied to this chip, okay, and the dangers from taking it. So it says, therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. So the things that you trust in are going to eventually fall. It's like a wall of protection that has a breach in it, and on the other side there's there's water. So as the water is coming through, well, eventually that crack is going to turn to a major collapse, and your defense is going to be overcome, okay? It's going to be overcome, and that's going to lead to you seeking refuge by the form of going to the government and taking this chip, man. So that's what Esau is doing. It's going to snare the people into bowing down to his will. Matter of fact, let's get one more precept. All right, that's why the Lord has given the elect, this knowledge to allow us to escape from this man's agenda. As you read 2 Corinthians 2:11, for we are not ignorant, but lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So Romans 11:4, but what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men. 7,000 means a completion, okay? A complete number of men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal, okay? They're not going to bow down and take this man's mark as a badge of servitude, to be his slave, or for him to be our God, okay? So verse 5 says, even so then at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace, and that election, or that remnant, having equipped with the proper knowledge and wisdom, that's going to allow them to depend on Yahweh Shema Shai rather than Esau and his chip, okay? And we'll close it out with this, Lord willing. Isaiah 10:20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote him, okay? And you first escape by the way of your mind, by subscribing to this truth, this doctrine, fully repenting and forsaking America and this whole beast system. That's how you escape first. But it's going to lead into a physical deliverance, with you not taking the mark and you ultimately being delivered. So it says, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth, okay? So it's going to be the truth that's going to allow the elect to escape, and all the ones who have been gathered by this word of truth are going to be delivered if they continue in the faith. So with that, Lord willing, you're edified. Until next time I say, Shalom, Wa Abba Babal.